By mid-1862, the Confederacy had dominated the war, winning several major battles. However, it wasn't long before the tide turned. On September 17, 1862, the Battle of Antietam took place. Although this battle had no clear winner, it had significant effects on the war. The Battle of Antietam, fought on September 17, 1862, near Sharpsburg, Maryland, along the Antietam Creek, was one of the most pivotal and bloodiest battles of American Civil War. It was fought between the Union Army under General George B. McClellan and Confederate Army led by General Robert E. Lee. After a series of successive victories in the Southern campaigns, Lee sought to move the war out of the Confederacy and into Union territory. He hoped to win a major battle in the North, gain international support, and draw states like Maryland into the Confederacy. However, Union forces accidentally discovered Lee's battle plans, and General McClellan, who had long been criticized for being overly cautious, now had the chance to predict the Confederate Army's movements and attack accordingly. In the days leading up to the battle, Lee's army faced several challenges. Being far from their main bases, the Confederates were suffering from exhaustion and limited supplies. Lee's forces, around 14,000 men, were considerably outnumbered by the Union Army's 87,000 troops. Still, Lee decided to stay in the defensive positions around Sharpsburg, hoping to destroy the Union Army in a heavy attack. The Battle of Antietam took place in 3 phases. Morning of the battle. Early hours. At dawn on September 17, Union forces under General Joseph Hooker launched the first attack in the northern part of the battlefield, engaging the Confederates in an area known as Cornfield. This location quickly became a bloody battleground, and control of the area changed hands several times, leading to heavy casualties on both sides. At the same time, the Union forces attempted to break through the Confederate left flank, advancing from the south of the Cornfield. However, they faced a fierce resistance from Confederate forces commanded by General Thomas Stonewall Jackson, and many Union soldiers were killed or wounded, unable to make a significant progress. Midway, the Sunken Road assault. By midday, Union forces under Generals William Franklin and Edwin Sumner attacked a naturally fortified positions known as Sunken Road, a key defensive point for the Confederates. This area would later be called Bloody Lane due to the sheer amount of bloodshed that took place there. The Confederates fiercely defended the road, inflicting heavy casualties on the attacking Union forces. After hours of intense fighting, the Confederate line was actually broken, and Union troops took control of the position. However, due to the disorganization and lack of coordination, the Union forces failed to capitalize on their success and could not advance further. Afternoon, Burnside Bridge. The final critical point of the battle occurred in the southern part of the field, around the bridge that crossed Antietam Creek, later known as Burnside Bridge. Union forces under General Ambrose Burnside tried to seize the bridge, but were repeatedly repelled by Confederate troops who had fortified positions. After several failed attempts, Burnside's men finally captured the bridge and advanced toward the Confederates. However, just when the Union forces seemed poised to make a breakthrough, Confederate reinforcements under General A.P. Hill arrived from Harper's Ferry and halted Burnside's advance, preventing the Union Army from achieving the decisive victory. End of the battle. By sunset, fighting ceased in many areas, with neither side able to claim a clear victory. Lee, recognizing his army's fatigue and lack of supplies, decided to retreat the next day. Despite the opportunity to launch a final attack, McClellan, known for his caution, chose not to pursue Lee's forces, allowing the Confederates to withdraw from the battlefield. Now that we understood what happened in the Battle of Antietam, let's move on the second question. Why was the Battle of Antietam the beginning of the Confederacy's downfall? To answer this, we need to look at the situation in America at that time. The Confederacy's situation. At that time, the Confederacy was in desperate need of 2 things. First, to end the war as quickly as possible, and 2, to gain international support, particularly from European powers. Both of these goals were linked to Confederacy's growing need for resources and supplies. Despite winning several key battles, the Confederacy's resources were dwindling. The Confederacy's economy and infrastructure were no match to the Union's industrial and and manpower advantage. The Union had population of 22 million, compared to Confederacy's 9 million, of which 4 million were enslaved people. Additionally, 90% of American industry were under Union control, whereas the Confederacy had almost no industry and relied heavily on agricultural. After several years of war on Southern soil, the Confederacy was eager to bring the fight to the North to minimize further damage. The Union's situation, Abraham Lincoln was under immense political pressure to end the war swiftly, especially after the Confederacy's recent successes. The Union could not afford another Confederate victory. If the Confederacy had won another significant battle, it might have secured political and military support from European nations and weakened Northern morale, possibly even encouraging more states to join Confederacy. Lincoln also needed a major victory to gain the political confidence necessary to issue the Emancipation Proclamation. Thus, the Battle of Antietam was critical for both sides. If the Confederacy had won, the course of the war could have changed dramatically. European powers might have supported the Confederacy. Abraham Lincoln could have been removed from the office, as many politicians at that time were willing to allow the South to secede. More states might have joined the Confederacy. Lincoln might have not been able to issue the Emancipation Proclamation. However, the Confederacy did not win the Battle of Antietam, and history unfolded as we know it.